What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your old pal Matt. I am here at SeaWorld Orlando this evening. I have something a little bit different for you. Today I was across the street working at Aquatica and it wasn't that busy. We had some bad weather today, and anytime there's lightning within 10 miles or so of all the parks, it shuts most everything down. And when that happens, obviously things tend to slow down on the medical side. So when that happens, I can make the best use of my time. So I start writing things down. What could be better off for the channel? What can we do differently? What are some ideas? And I had one today that I'm like, I know what I can do as soon as my shift is over with. And come across the street here to SeaWorld, and what I'm going to do is we're going to go around and we're going to point out some of the really cool things there are to do here if bad weather comes around and all the coasters and rides shut down and the shows, or if you're a person that just isn't that big into thrill rides. Let's face it, SeaWorld lately has been put on the map as the roller coaster capital of Central Florida, Orlando, and they have some amazing rides. If you are a roller coaster fanatic, this is the place for you. It is amazing here, without a doubt. But we got to face it, not everybody wants to do big high thrill roller coasters. They all want to be, you know, some people are just like, some people are like, let's just go easy. So I have the perfect vlog for you all today. I'm going to show you all what there is to do here if you're not into that high thrill category, or even if you are and you're wanting something else to do, or if weather shuts a lot of the park down, giving you some things that you can do. There's a lot more here than just roller coasters. There's a lot here, actually. So without wasting more time, we're going to get our ass into the park here and we're going to walk around. I'm going to show you some of the really neat elements of SeaWorld Orlando, minus all the big bad roller coasters. It's be a little bit different today. I hope you all enjoy this. Let's get started, shall we? And the storms are just about past. And if you're going to be at SeaWorld or Aquatica, or any park for that matter, make sure, let me rephrase that. If you're going to be at SeaWorld or Universal, Disney, or any of the water parks here in Orlando, or even outside of Orlando, Florida, check their weather policy. A lot of places have it, and they'll tell you exactly what you need to do if the majority of your day is rained out, or if there's just lightning that likes to hang around in the area and nothing can open. They usually have refund policies and or return policies free of charge. Make sure you read all the fine print. And it is still the 60th anniversary of SeaWorld in general, not just SeaWorld Orlando. SeaWorld Orlando had their 50th recently. This is the 60th anniversary of all the parks. And the roller coasters are starting to run again. If, big capital if, we were doing roller coasters tonight, it'd be a fantastic night for that, because there's not many people here in the park. One thing to check on real quick, we got the SeaWorld events board here. This is the ambassador entrance over by Pipeline. Hard to believe that this coming weekend we're going to be wrapping up the summertime. Bands, Brews, and Barbecue. Seven Seas Food Festival is already come and gone, which is hard to believe. And right around the corner, actually a week from this weekend, is the first SeaWorld Spooktacular. And then the following week, Howl-O-Scream begins. And then my all-time favorite, SeaWorld's Christmas celebration. You know what's wild is, if you think about it, September, October, it's really only about 2 months from now. That's really, well, I guess so August to September to October, yeah, 3 months. That's wild. That's unbelievable. But if you have never seen this, and I will be here obviously to cover a lot of this, this is a real treat. This area right up front here, this is known as the waterfront area. There's a lot of shops, a lot of dining on this area. There's a really nice bar here, Flamecraft. Not to be confused with Flame Tree. So the first thing that we're going to stop by, and I'm going to show you, it's obviously not running because of the weather, but we're going to check out one of the original remaining attractions here at SeaWorld Orlando, the SeaWorld Sky Tower. One thing I want to point out on the way to Sky Tower, they do have a show here. It's in the Seaport Theater called Rescue Tales. This used to be the old Pets Ahoy show. Never got to see that. COVID-19 destroyed that show. They ended the contract when the parks closed and it never came back. But one thing that did reopen in its place is called Rescue Tales. And they got showtimes throughout the day. Obviously on busier days, more showtimes. Slower days like today, not too much. Pretty neat little show though, if you get a chance. So again, you're talking like if you want to, you know, if you're looking for something to do because of rain, or again, if you're not into the high thrill capacities, this is a really good show to stop in and see.
Waterfront Radio. Here at SeaWorld, the little things add up to an ocean of difference. We partner with groups who promote great world music on Waterfront Radio.
Is it a vlog?
Yeah.
What's up, man? We're here today, my friend Brian. My friend Elijah. We're at SeaWorld having a blast, man.
Where y'all from?
I'm from Orlando.
Orlando?
Here, yeah, here. What about you?
Same.
Really?
Yep. So on my way out to Sky Tower Island here, I ran into a couple nice guys here. They were wanting to know if they could be in the video. I said, absolutely. So, welcome. Thank you all for your support. I really appreciate it. So here we are, Sky Tower Island. Once again, this is obviously not for everybody because we're talking an attraction that goes well over 300 feet into the sky. Okay? But if you want a really cool ride, real gentle ride, this is a really nice way to see the park and all of Orlando. Basically, you can see the theme parks all around Central Florida. You can see Disney World, you can see some of Universal, pretty much anything. One of the neatest times to ride this is at Christmas time when they have all of the Christmas trees set up in the Central Lagoon here. It looks amazing. It looks really cool. And you can also purchase a drink down here at the sandbar, and you can bring it on the Sky Tower. How about that, huh? So obviously, again, since the weather was not the best behaved today, a lot of stuff is closed. But right down here, if you're gonna do Sky Tower, if you're not an annual pass holder, this is where you're gonna buy your tickets right here at this bar. This is another bar where you get some water, drinks, all that. So if you're not an annual pass holder, okay, just for a general guess, it's about a $5 bill, okay? Guest fun card and bronze pass holders, it's a $5 bill. If you have a silver, gold, and platinum pass holders, it's free to ride. This is kind of a cool area down here because this is old school SeaWorld down here. Not a lot of people come down here. I keep checking. It's still August, so we're not quite there yet. But I would say by September, we should start seeing some of the Christmas trees starting to be set up here. Which is wild because as we get into late September and October, you got Howl-O-Scream going on. And with Howl-O-Scream, you got Christmas trees in the lagoon. And over here, I always like to point this out because I like to shout out a lot of the other channels. One of my favorites, been watching for a lot of years, used to be Mako Madness, but then became Midway Mayhem. Dan, that runs that channel. This is his fountain right here. Every time he comes out to SeaWorld Orlando for construction updates or whatever he's doing, he always stops by this because he's a big fan of riding the Sky Tower as well. Sky Tower is great for doing construction updates on roller coasters and all kinds of other projects, and he always stops by to see if his fountain's working. So fountain's doing great today, Dan. I got a good eye on it. Benji Bunny, what's up, buddy? That reminded me of a tip. Everybody that's not used to being in Central Florida or that's visiting us, the wildlife at all the theme parks is very used to humans. So they pretty much don't have a whole lot of a fear. Please leave them alone. So many people try to pet the squirrels, try to pet the bunnies, and while they are very cute, they will bite you. Then you'll see me in the ER getting rabies shots, and I don't want that for anybody. So just leave our wildlife alone. I know it's cute, it looks cuddly. Don't touch the wildlife. Next stop on our tour, we got this is normally, this originally was Clyde and Seymour's Sea Lion High. It's undergone some name changes, and I think for the 60th anniversary, they've changed it to Flippers, Facts, and Fun's The Sea Lion Experience. I'm not sure if this is going to change back after the 60th is over. Maybe. But great show. One of the big features of this is Opie Otter. Opie Otter is He's very mischievous. He steals the show every time. And you'll find all of them up there in the Sea Lion Otter Stadium up here. Right next to the brand new Penguin Trek roller coaster, we got Pacific Point Preserve, and we have one of the ground level entrances to the Sea Lion experience. There's two entrances to this. The one I was at is down there, and you walk up the couple of gigantic hills to get up to the top of the arena, the theater here, and they have a bunch down here where you walk in on the ground level and can go up. This is pretty neat here. This is a it's hard to explain it. I'm just going to show you. This is one of my favorite spots of the park. This is the big sea lion exhibit. Oh, they are active. It must be dinner time. Oh yeah. And at this orange house back here, I think they're closed today, but you can normally buy fish for the sea lions, and you can feed them right here. And it causes a feeding frenzy. The one thing I will say, if you're going to feed the sea lions, it's a lot of fun to do if you're an annual pass holder. A lot of times they add in a free feeding tray as part of being an AP. But if you're going to feed these guys and gals, watch out for these sons of bitches right here, these birds. A lot of people end up getting bird bites accidentally because they either hold the fish out for too long or they hold it in their hand like this. Those birds obviously know what's going on here. I mean, this has been here pretty much since the park opened. So birds know how to get a good meal. See, what's up, buddy? He's like, you got any fish for me? Don't have anything, bud. They're all closed. I'm sorry. I got nothing. He looks like he just woke up from a nap. Yeah, that one's like, hey, fish, you son of a bitch. These guys, I could stand here all day.
So the guy in the water there is going to be a harbor seal, and the one trying to get up to him is one of the California sea lions. The seals are still pretty social with you, and they don't like contact. They don't want any physical contact.
That's Pacific Point Preserve. Make time in your SeaWorld day to get down and see this. You could spend a good part of your day here. It's just entertaining. And that building way up there, over there, that's where they do the behind the scenes sea lion and otter tour. I think it's sea lions. Something like that. Anyway, it's behind the scenes. If you get a chance and you can work it into your budget, do one of these behind the scenes tours with these animal exhibits. It's amazing to see not only the care that these animals get, but also what goes into caring for them. And you get a little bit of behind the scenes look at, one, how gigantic these habitats are. What you see here is only a fraction of the entire area that they have. These animals are better cared for than most people, which is sad to say, but it's true. They're very, very, very well taken care of here. Penguin Trek only has a 10-minute wait tonight. Wow, that's amazing. One thing about Penguin Trek now is you see straight ahead, it has the quick queue, general queue, and then right by the sign here where it says Penguin Trek, right there it says Penguin Exhibit Entry. You can walk into the Penguin Exhibit without riding the actual roller coaster, which is really nice. So if all you want to do is see the penguins in their habitat, don't go into general queue, or the quick queue, look for the sign that says Penguin Exhibit Entrance. It'll be all the way over here on your left-hand side, and just follow that around. And if you have any questions of that, ask one of the ambassadors right there, and they'll get you to the right place. Basically, that queue for the Penguin Exhibit uses the old Empire of the Penguin queue. And then I'm gonna walk in here a minute. So again, even if you don't want to go into the penguin enclosure, because it is 32 degrees in there, you can just come in here. Just look for the gift shop and look for the sliding doors. You can come right in here and you can view the one area right up there. There's a section of glass right there, or you can come down here and see it on multiple levels. So we're gonna head out the same way we came in. This does have 2 entrances and exits though. We could go back the opposite way and it'll put us out right by Journey to Atlantis and Kraken. But nothing over there. If you're thrill seeking, there's all, you know, you got Journey to Atlantis and Kraken over there. But we're not thrill seeking today. We're peaceful, easy feeling today. Pacific Point Preserve was that way. We're coming back this way. The Sky Tower, as you're walking around SeaWorld, the Sky Tower is a great reference point because it's pretty much the central portion of the park. If you can locate Sky Tower, you can pretty much find your way around anywhere. All right, next stop, right straight ahead. This is really fun. They're not doing this today, obviously, because of the storm, but this is the Pearl and Collectibles shop. They have, which was, I'm glad they brought this back. This was another thing that hadn't come back in forever after the 2020 closures. But more recently, I think in the last year or so, they did bring this back, which is great because they had this prior to the 2020 closures. This is live pearl diving at the Mermaid Lagoon. And right here, you can have one of the divers pick out perfect Akoya oyster for you, and they start at 11:15. Normally when they're not interrupted by weather, they pretty much go throughout the day. And what I think is really cool for this experience, it's right around 20 bucks. They figure in all the extras on top of it, meaning taxes and the surcharge they have here, which still don't agree with it, but it is what it is. So it'll be about 20 bucks, a little more. So what you do is you go into the shop over here and you sign up for the experience and you pay the money, and they have a diver in the water and they'll go down and pick out they'll pick out an oyster for you and bring it up and then open it up, and your pearl is revealed inside, and it's obviously yours to keep and to take it home. If you think about it, this is actually pretty neat because you could take this home, put it in a case, always remind you of your SeaWorld vacation. It's kind of one of those really unique gifts. Now I do know that a lot of the parks have the Pearl experience. I know they have it at the Japan Pavilion and Epcot, but this one's kind of neat because they actually have divers in the water and they'll go down and pick it out for you. You tell them, you point to which one you want, and they'll go get it, and then they'll bring it up to the surface. It's pretty neat. And every so often throughout the day, they'll do a little show here too. And what I find amazing is the divers here, this is all free diving, meaning they don't have scuba tanks or anything. So it's all breath holding. One of these days when I get back here during the day and they're actually doing this, we'll vlog this because it's fun to watch. And you can kind of get up this way. They have this closed off today. I'm not working today. When I'm working, I can get through here because I got all my credentials on me. But this is a really neat walkway to go out on because you can see into the water right there. You can see, you can actually watch the divers from the railing here. All right, next stop. I think this is probably gonna be my last one. I'm only gonna be able to do the first half of the park because there's a lot to see here at SeaWorld. Like I said, there's a lot more than just roller coasters and thrill attractions here. I had an hour. I thought, oh, I'll be able to get a decent amount in. No, it's hard. It's really hard. So we're gonna end with Shark Wreck Reef here. And this is a really cool experience here. You'll know you're in the area because you see the Mako roller coaster there. And then the Sea Lion and Otter Stadium is right up the hill that way, and the other entrance is right down here. And we came this way from the waterfront, so you just follow this around. And when you see the Shark Wreck Reef right here, go to the left of the sign, and you'll see there's a sign off yonder here called the Shark Encounter Entrance. And they also have a really neat little duck habitat here. This is it right here. So when you enter in, you see all of the theming here on the floor, and you come into the tunnel here. This is really neat. This is a walk-through aquarium. Right? One of the unique features this tank has, it has lionfish in it. And when I was going through my orientation to work here at SeaWorld, we have a special protocol on what to do if a diver in here or somebody caring for this tank accidentally were to get stung by a lionfish, because they are highly poisonous. So we have a special protocol in place if that happens. So far, so good. We haven't had to deal with that. But yes, they always say that when they have divers in the water, they always want them to be extra careful on this side, because there are lionfish here and they are very poisonous. You see one of these in the wild, you don't want to go anywhere near it. But they are ugly, but yet beautiful at the same time. And they have a lot of them in here. I didn't realize there were so many. This is another exhibit you could spend a lot of time in. So this part of the aquarium is walk through, and you work your way down here, follow the rays. This was recently remodeled too, which is, this looks 100% better in here. There's all kinds of really neat facts in here. Oh yeah, here you go. There's facts on the lionfish. Yeah, that's why you don't want to get stung by one of these things. There is a special anti-venom that they use for this. And apparently you can eat these things. They are served in restaurants. But I didn't realize how invasive they were. You start reading about it, they're very, very invasive species. They kind of tend to disrupt the ecosystems a bit. So you coming down through here, now we start seeing all the sharks. Like I said, everybody, you could spend a lot of time in here. This is another great place to go if the weather turns bad, because I'm kind of going through here quickly, you know, want to show everything, but the park's going to be closing shortly, and obviously employees like everybody, you know, wants to get home, so I try to respect that and get out of here in a timely manner. So what we do for the sharks now is we come down this pathway here, and this will lead us into the shark aquarium. Right through this doorway. And in here, they do have a moving walkway. Check out, there's a nurse shark right here. And you get up close and personal with these fellas. I don't know if you all can see it, but if you see the lights there on the other side of the glass, that is actually a restaurant. That is Shark's Underwater Grill. If you're ever looking for a really, really nice meal to have while here at SeaWorld, a nice sit-down, calming, relaxed environment, highly recommend that place. It's very, very good food. It's similar to the Coral Reef restaurant at Epcot.
Please step off and continue moving forward. Please step off and continue moving forward.
Must be sleepy time. Oh, there's a hammerhead.
Step off and continue moving forward. Please step off and continue moving forward.
Well, this is cool too, because they have an actual display of the acrylic tube that you walk through. And look how thick that sucker is. 3 6-ton elephants can stand on this. That's pretty amazing. But when you think about all that pressure from that, from an aquarium that size, yeah, you need that. Yeah, there's Shark's Underwater Grill. Yeah, I highly recommend this place. It's very fine dining. Not like ultra fancy, but it's really good food for a theme park. And if you're curious where it's at, it's right here. They have a bar here, and then right through here is Shark's Underwater Grill, and they have a stingray lagoon and a couple other fish in there. Almost looks like a barracuda, but I don't think it is. I know they're closed, but we'll take a walk up here if we can. Yeah, everything's closed up. But right through those doors there is a restaurant. They also have a bar area as well. So the other thing to keep in mind here is a first come, first serve. They do not take advanced reservations. So if you're gonna have a lunch or dinner here, my suggestion is eat on the off times. What I mean by that, if it opens at 10:30, or I'm sorry, if it opens at 11, go have lunch right at 11, or have dinner at 4. That way you avoid the rush. Or have dinner at, say, 7 or 8 o'clock. Best way to eat at Shark's, because it does fill up fast, especially when it's busy. It's a very popular restaurant.
Let's get back to more music. Waterfront Radio.
So if you think about it, I barely got half of one half of the park. All of that over there is still a whole nother area to explore, which is nice because we'll do this in about a 2-part series, maybe a 3, depending. But we got everything, we got most everything on this side of the park. Like I said, I'm right over here by the Pearl Experience. But that Shark's exhibit is really neat. Make time for that. You will not be disappointed. And we're back kind of where we were earlier, right by the Seaport Theater and Sky Tower and the waterfront area. If I see anything else on my way out, we'll point it out, and then we'll close it out somewhere up front or in the parking lot. Somewhere. This is one of the places I want to point out on my way out of the park. This is Flamecraft Bar. It's a really nice bar right on the waterfront, right next to Seafire Grill. Okay, just checking out some merchandise on the way out of the park. That's classic. Love that. Oh, and right by the main entrance here, kind of where I was looking at the event board over there. Right across the way is the Dolphin Nursery. Again, this will kind of shut down for bad weather, but any other time, the dolphins are out here playing around. One of the trainers over here told me that this is where they take the dolphins from the dolphin show tanks and the other main tank that they have, and they bring them over here for just a little bit of rest and relaxation. They were saying that this is just their time to do whatever it is they want to do. And you get a lot of cool underwater shots too. And they do different shows here. They do trainer shows, like not really a show, but like the trainers will talk about the dolphins, and they'll give all kinds of really neat facts about the dolphins here. Pretty neat place to stop, take a little rest and relax. Well, there we have it, ladies and gents. That was a tour around part of Seaworld Orlando. Again, I didn't get to everything. Hard to believe, but I just scratched the surface of everything there is to do here. When you really start unpacking everything here, SeaWorld Orlando offers a lot. I'm not sure about SeaWorld San Antonio and SeaWorld San Diego. I've never been to those parks, but you know, since I work with the company, I can use my employee ID and go to those places, along with Busch Gardens and Tampa and Busch Gardens Williamsburg. So all kinds of places to explore, but this park here is big and there's a lot to see. So if you're not, like I say, if you're not a coaster enthusiast, or you just, you know, it's not your thing, or you just don't feel like riding coasters, you want to do something different, or you got a large part of the family that just wants to, like, as I like to say, they want the peaceful, easy feeling of just having a chill day at the park, there's a lot to do here. Again, as I said earlier, we'll put this into a couple parts. This will obviously be part 1. Try to get it all done in part 2, but I think there might be a part 3, just because there's so much here. There really is. The first half of the park they showed today, again, there was a few things I didn't get to. There's still, you know, a lot of other aquariums. There's just there's a lot of other animal exhibits. So more than likely there'll be 3 parts to this, because the first half of the park I bet I got to half of it. So we'll do the other half when I come back. But I hope you all enjoyed this. Let me know. Are you a big coaster enthusiast, or are you kind of one of those, just let's take it easy, let's have an easy chill day at the park? Because I mean, realistically, SeaWorld is mainly known for their thrill rides now. That's kind of what they've switched into. I'm very curious to see what kind of attraction they're going to build for next year. I really think they need to focus on something indoors, because the problem is with the roller coasters is, this is Orlando in Central Florida. Summer times, you can pretty much mark your calendar every day we're gonna have a thunderstorm at least. Very rarely do we not. Now, from late September through about April or May, pretty nice weather, but the summer months, those that vacation here in the summer, you got to deal with the thunderstorms and the heavy downpours, and when that happens, unfortunately, all the outdoor rides will close, and they have to stay closed until it's been a half hour, 45 minutes since the last lightning strike in the area. So it can take a while, which is why I think SeaWorld needs to work on an indoor attraction to give people something to do outside of the animal experiences, like an indoor attraction to ride, like when they used to have Empire of the Penguin, which Penguin Trek took the place of that, and then they used to have the Wild Arctic over in the Antarctica area, which we didn't even get a chance to get close to that. So that'll be next on the list next time I do this. But again, lots to see and do here. I hope you all enjoyed this. Let me know what you think, and as always, give this video a big thumbs up, because it helps us out with the algorithms. If you like what you've seen, give me a subscribe. Lots more on the way, and thank you all very much for your support. It's very much appreciated. As always, this vlog has been the truth. Yes, it's been actual, and I hope for everybody watching it's been mighty satisfactual. Main Street Fire Rescue out of service. See ya. Also, big shout out, thank you to the young men that I had in my vlog a little earlier when I was over by Sky Tower. You know, it's things like that I really enjoy. And anybody sees me out walking with my camera, you want to say hi, you want to be in the vlog, just come up and say something. I'm happy to have you. You can't miss me. I'm 6'1", about 205 pounds. I'm not easy to miss. So, and I'm very personable. I love talking to people, love being around people, which is why I'm at places like this. It feels good. I love interacting with everybody, and that's why I do what I do. That's why I became a firefighter paramedic. You know, just love being out amongst the people. So thank you all very much for that. I'm gonna put you guys in the vlog. Hope you enjoy it. And again, anybody that sees me out in the park, come up and say hi. I'd be glad to meet you.